The morning sun spilled through the glass towers of Harrison Tech Industries, gleaming against the chrome and concrete. Inside, employees hurried through the marble lobby, clutching coffee cups and laptops, whispering anxiously. Something big was happening. The CEO, Charles Harrison, had called an emergency meeting, something he rarely did. Harrison was known for two things: his genius for technology and his impossible temper. The company's stock had plummeted 17% overnight after a massive glitch in their new AI-powered logistics system caused millions in lost shipments. By 8 a.m., the top engineers, analysts, and managers had packed into the sleek, glass-walled conference room on the 32nd floor. Charles stood at the head of the table, his tailored suit sharp, his expression sharper. He slammed a folder on the table. "This," he growled, "is what happens when incompetence meets arrogance. A billion-dollar system, down in flames." He turned to his CTO. "Can anyone here fix it before our investors pull out?" The CTO swallowed hard. "Sir, the algorithm is corrupted. We've tried everything: debugging, recoding, rollback. Nothing works." Charles snorted. "Figures." He leaned back. "You know what? Whoever can fix this mess gets a $200 million bonus. That's how desperate I am." The room fell silent. Everyone knew the offer wasn't real, it was sarcasm, his cruel way of mocking the team. But in the hallway, someone else had overheard. Down in the shadows, Michael Evans, the night janitor, had been mopping the corridor outside. His daughter, Lily, a 19-year-old computer science student, had been waiting for him after finishing her night class. She often came to keep him company during late shifts. Lily had always been fascinated by technology. While her father cleaned offices, she'd sit in the corner with her old, battered laptop, solving puzzles and debugging sample code from free online courses. When she heard the CEO's voice echo through the open doorway, "Fix this and I'll give you $200 million, she smiled faintly. "Dad," she whispered, "what's going on in there?" Michael sighed. "Company's in trouble again. Some computer thing. Not our business, sweetheart." But Lily's curiosity was burning. "Do you think they'd let me take a look?" she asked half-jokingly. Michael chuckled softly. "You're smart, baby, but they won't even let me touch their keyboards." Still, Lily couldn't shake the thought. An impossible problem. Later that evening, after everyone had gone home, Michael was finishing his shift. In the main server room, the door was left slightly open, unusual for a company so security-conscious. Inside, screens glowed in the dim light, showing lines of red error code and flashing system warnings. Lily peeked in. "Wow," she murmured. "So that's the AI logistics system." "Yeah," her dad said nervously. "Don't touch anything. They'll fire me if they think we messed with it." But Lily was already walking closer. She recognized the problem instantly. It was a feedback loop, a recursive algorithm that was collapsing under its own self-checking protocol. A simple fix, if you understood the structure. "Dad, can I just look? I won't change anything." He hesitated, then sighed. "1 minute." Lily opened the console, reading through the tangled script. She tapped a few keys, scrolling through the code. Then she laughed softly. "They've been debugging the wrong layer," she said. "The issue isn't in the logistics AI, it's in the meta-learning module. It's teaching itself the wrong optimization pattern." Her father blinked. "In English, it's learning from its own mistakes, by reinforcing them," she explained. "All I need to do is reset the learning bias, adjust the threshold weight, and recompile." Michael stared blankly. "Just don't break anything, Lily." She smiled, typing fast. Within minutes, the warning lights turned from red to green. The system rebooted. The logs started filling with clean, accurate predictions. The error, gone. Lily gasped. "It worked." Her father's jaw dropped. "You fixed it?" Lily nodded, grinning. "I think so. The system's stable again." The morning shock. When the engineers came in the next morning, they couldn't believe what they saw. "Wait, everything's working," one said. "Who ran the reset?" The CTO examined the logs. "Someone executed a bias correction at 11:42 p.m., but this code, this isn't ours." Charles Harrison stormed in. "What's going on?" The CTO turned, stunned. "Sir, the system's fixed." Charles froze. "What? Someone patched it overnight. Perfectly. No data loss, no downtime." Charles frowned. Who? The engineers shrugged. The console logs show a user access from janitorial maintenance. Charles's eyes narrowed. Bring them to me. The confrontation. Minutes later, Michael and Lily stood nervously in the executive suite. Charles towered over them. You accessed my secure server. Michael stammered, Sir, I didn't mean. It was me, Lily interrupted. I fixed it. Charles blinked. You. She nodded calmly. I heard you say you'd give $200 million to anyone who could fix it. I thought I'd try. The room went silent. Charles scoffed. You expect me to believe a janitor's daughter solved a system my engineers couldn't? Lily quietly pulled up the code logs on the screen. Here's the patch. You can verify the timestamp. Your meta-learning bias was set to 0.03, but it needed 0.35. The AI was stuck in a recursive feedback loop. I reset the parameter and recompiled the training matrix. The CTO leaned forward, examining her work. His jaw dropped. She's right. That's exactly what was wrong. Charles stared at the screen, then at her. For once, he was speechless. You really did fix it, he said softly. Lily smiled nervously. So, about that $200 million. A few of the engineers chuckled. Charles actually laughed, a deep, genuine laugh that surprised everyone. You've got guts, kid. And brains. A deal she never expected. Later that day, Charles called Lily into his office alone. He stood by the window, looking out over the city. You know, he said, I was joking about the money. Lily nodded. I figured. But I don't joke about talent, he continued. How old are you? 19. He smiled. You're the smartest 19-year-old I've ever met. How would you like a job? Her eyes widened. At Harrison Tech. Internship first, he said. Full scholarship to MIT, on my dime. When you graduate, a seat on our AI development team. Deal. Lily blinked back tears. Deal. Charles extended his hand. She shook it firmly. As she walked out, her father was waiting by the elevator. Everything okay? She smiled through tears. Better than okay, Dad. A year later. 1 year later, the world knew her name. Lily Evans, once the janitor's daughter, was now the youngest AI researcher at Harrison Tech. She'd helped design a revolutionary logistics model that doubled company profits. At an investor gala, Charles raised a glass in her honor. To Lily, the girl who fixed what the rest of us couldn't. Proof that genius can come from anywhere. The crowd applauded, but Lily's eyes searched for only one person, her father, standing proudly in the back, in his janitor's uniform. She smiled and whispered, This one's for you, Dad. Epilogue. A few months later, she received an envelope from Charles himself. Inside was a check, not for $200 million, but for $200,000, a symbolic reward, as he called it. And on the memo line, he'd written, greater than, for fixing more than just a system. Lily laughed, tears in her eyes. She looked at her father and said softly, Guess the CEO kept his promise after all.